What's up guys, Master Colin here with this week's Taekwondo video. This video is going to be for all levels. We are all going to be covering similar material this week. The exception is going to be the level of difficulty I expect from each one of you according to your class. So for my white belts, yellow belts, and orange belts, you're going to be working our footwork, motions number 1 and number 2, and combining those with our roundhouse kick. For my green belts and above, you guys are going to be working number 7 and number 8. Okay, so we're going to review those, and what you're going to do is you're going to shadow box them. So you're going to move around in your spot for a time limit. What I want you to do is work 3 2-minute rounds at home. So in addition to what you normally do, which should be, you stretch every day, you do your push-ups, your sit-ups, your squats every day, and you practice your form every day. And then I want you to add this into your practice as well. It's going to help us with what we're doing in class this week. So for my white belts, yellow belts, and orange belts, number 1 and number 2 of your basic 6 motions is a simple hop, step forward, and a hop, step back. Now first, you have to make sure you have that correct. So if I'm in my fighting stance, my opponent is here, my hop, step forward, I pick up that front foot, and I hop. That's it, okay? But what I see a lot of students do is they pick up their back foot and do a skipping step, which is still a footwork motion, but it's something that you're gonna work on later because it's a little more complicated, and I don't want you guys getting used to doing that skip step if you don't know what it's for, okay? So normally, when you're in your fighting stance, you don't wanna make your feet too close together, because if you get caught in that middle step, if I'm like this and I get hit, I'm gonna be off balance and I'm gonna go down, and our goal is to stay on our feet. So it's very important that our front foot, if I'm moving forward, my front foot goes first for number 1, which is the most common way to move, number 1 and number 2. Okay, so number 1, I pick up that front foot and I let that one go first, and this one follows it. So I maintain that same distance between both of my feet, okay, and I slide forward. Number 2 is the same thing, but I'm facing this way and I'm moving backward. So I'm picking up my back foot and I'm sliding backwards. That's all it is. So number 1 here, number 2 here. If you can get that down, it's going to be half the battle. If you're one of my yellow shirts or my orange shirts and you already have this down, perfect. But that's just for, we got a lot of new guys over the last month or so, so I want to make sure you guys have that down. Now, while we're shadow boxing, so what shadow boxing is you move around practicing your kicks and punches like you're fighting an imaginary opponent. Okay, so just in your head, visualize a bad guy and fight him off. And while you do that, you should normally have a goal in mind, something you want to improve. So the goal we're improving today is using our footwork to either get closer or further away from our opponent, depending on the circumstances, and then fire off a roundhouse kick once we get to that position. So if you guys are my opponent and I'm in my fighting stance and I'm moving around, okay, facing you, let's say you're too far away, so I want to close distance. So then I'd use my number 1. So I'd hop forward to close distance and then bam, fire my roundhouse kick and immediately back to my fighting stance. Maybe now I'm too close, so I want to get away. So I fire my number 2 roundhouse kick, put it down right away, so I'm ready to go. And that's all you're working on. So you're just moving around. Number 1, kick, put it down. Number 2, kick, put it down. And you're circling around on your spot. Number 2, kick. Okay, maybe you go forward, backward, kick. Okay, backward, they jump backward as well, so we chase them, kick. Just work on the footwork and delivering the kick after the fact. So my white belts, yellow belts, orange belts, you give me 3 rounds of 2 minutes for that. Just hopping backward, hopping forward, and firing a roundhouse kick. Pretty simple. Now, my green belts and above, number 8, or number 7 and number 8. Number 8 is our cut kick step. So we pick that front foot up a lot like number 1, but it comes up a little bit, okay? And we use it like a shield to defend whatever our opponent's gonna counter our motion with. So a lot of times if my opponent's coming forward, I would make a hop step backward or try to land a kick when they're on their way in. But if I get that foot up, I can a lot of times parry their kick before it gets any power as it comes in at me. So I'm using number 8 to counter that. And then what I want to do after I get that foot up, I want to rechamber and throw a question mark roundhouse kick to my opponent's head. Okay? So we're here, we slide in here, then I'm going to pull my foot back and go up and over and question mark kick to my opponent's head. Okay? So I'm circling in my fighting stance here, here. Okay? One more time. I'm circling here, here, up and over. Okay? So that's number 8. Number 7 is our back kick step. That's where we pivot, we step forward. Now turning our back to opponent is dangerous. If you were in class last week, you know I talked about that with back kick. If you have a good back kick, then it's going to make your opponent think the back kick is coming, so they might react and move backwards. Okay? So this is a fake. Once we get our opponent to react, we get them to move back, we can chase them with a roundhouse kick here, or we can throw a follow-up back kick with the opposite foot. Okay? So you're moving, you step 1, and if I see my opponent move back and try to come in with a counter, so a kick after they hop back out of the way, I can go right into my other foot back kick. Okay? If they move to a side and I don't get that opportunity to throw the back kick, I want to finish the step, chase with a round kick. Okay? So you have a couple options there. You're moving around 1, 2, or 1, 2. Okay? So I want you to use both of those techniques in your shadow boxing 2-minute rounds, and I want you to do 3 of them. So get that done in addition to your form practice, your push-ups, your sit-ups, your squats, and your stretches. That's it. I will see you guys in class this week. Hopefully you follow directions here and you get this done. Otherwise, going to be some push-ups this week. We'll see you next time.